y'all, welcome to Criminally Creative, a channel about my various creative endeavors. Today is Tuesday, October 7th, 2025, and this is episode 89. I'm Susan. You can find me on Ravelry as Legal Eagle and on Instagram as Criminally Creative 1. That's the Arabic numeral 1. If you're new here, I appreciate you checking me out, and I hope you like what you see and will like, subscribe, and do all the things. If you're returning, as always, I appreciate you coming back and watching and engaging and the comments you leave and all that fun stuff. So I got to see a few of you this past weekend, so that was lovely. And I guess that's about it for intro. So I feel like it's been forever since I've done this. It has been a month since I last recorded. I had hoped to get here last week before I went to retreat this past weekend so that I would not have quite so much to show in one episode. But because of some other things that happened in September, I got behind on a lot of things prepping for the retreat, and it just didn't happen. So I'm here now, and I've got a lot to show. So grab something to drink or you're stitching or whatever. This one is probably going to be at least an hour long, I'm guessing. So hearsay, like I mentioned, work suddenly got really busy for about 2 weeks in September, kind of out of the blue and unexpectedly, and which really put me kind of behind in my normal stitching and things that I was able to do. I ended up working all of one weekend that I had planned to do some retreat prep stuff for some bags I was going to make. So I ended up the next weekend trying to do, and the couple days before retreat, trying to do everything that I had planned to do over like a 2-week period. I did in like 5 days. So, but I got most of it done. So, yeah, so work just got busy. So my stitching in September for about 2 weeks just really was practically non-existent. I did stitch a little bit, but not nearly as much. Let's see what else. Harvest Moon Hangout. I had bought a ticket to that. However, that fell the weekend that I ended up working all weekend, and so all I was able to do was I logged in, bought a couple of patterns that I wanted, and a little bit of fabric, which you'll see, and that was it. I did not have any time to go into stitchy rooms or anything, and when I actually did have time later at night, I just was not feeling social, sorry. So I hope those of y'all that attended had fun. I do plan to buy a ticket for Jingle Ball. I need to look and see what weekend that falls. But I am going to try to be a little more active in some of the like stitching groups and stuff at Jingle Ball. So let's see what else. After that, the next Friday, there was a tattoo convention in Raleigh. Mom, if you're listening, you may not want to hear this part. A friend of ours who we know from the wood turning community. My husband is a wood turner and regularly attends several events. And I've been with him a few times. So a friend of ours that we know from the wood turning community, who is a prolific and excellent wood turner, is also a tattoo artist in Texas. And she was at the convention in Raleigh. And so my husband had seen her out in Texas back in August and found out she was going to be here, and we both wanted to get a little bit of work from her. So I have long had plans to do an upper arm kind of half sleeve of all of my crafts, but I had not found anyone yet to really kind of plot all that out. But the one element that I was able to like single out, which I had her do, is I got her to do my Criminally Creative logo on my arm. So I will put a couple of pictures in here probably as I talk. So we went up there, we took the day off that Friday and went up there, and she did my tattoo, and then she also did some kind of color work fill in on a sleeve that my husband has been finishing up and everything. So it was good to see Rebecca. She is also currently on the season 15 of Halloween Wars. Her name is Rebecca DeGroot, and she is on the pink team, which is called, I think, Wicked Sculptors. They won episode 2. We have not watched episode 3 yet. I think it might have come out Sunday, but we haven't had a chance to watch it yet. So anyway, if you get a chance, watch that and root for Rebecca. And so that was fun and exciting. And I am currently looking for a more local artist to do the rest of what I would like to do. I picked up a few cards at the convention. I also talked to somebody at the Barefoot Retreat this weekend who's from the Greenville area who has an artist that he likes. So I'm going to explore that a little further, and eventually I will get that completed. So I have kind of an idea in my head of what it kind of should look like and what crafts I want to represent, but I am not an artist to translate that. So anyway, but I was at the Barefoot Retreat this past weekend, and as always, that was a lot of fun. I was at table 25 with my friend my friend Peggy. I just said Rebecca. My name's got screwed up. My friend Peggy, and Christina, and Julie, and who I had sat with before at various events. And then we were also sitting with Krista and Sarah, who is also affectionately known as Mama, and that's what I've always heard her called. So that's what I called her all weekend. I hope she didn't get upset. So we had a great time at table 25. Also sitting near me, wasn't able to get at one table with everybody that I wanted to sit with, but I was able to we were able to get tables close together. So my friend Ann was at the next table, and at another table was Beth, the Steadfast Stitcher, and Angela and Sarah, and a new friend, Amy, that I had not met before, who's also from the same area that Angela lives in. And I met lots of other people, saw a lot of other people. There were some other floss tubers there. Maybe Michelle McGraw, Stacy, the 911 Stitcher. Well, Beth, the Steadfast Stitcher I mentioned. The Red Cross Stitcher. Amy loves toads. I can't think. I'm sure I'm missing people, and I know a lot of other people that I talked to and chatted with, and I'm not intending to leave anybody out. I apologize. I just can't think of everybody that I talked to. But as always, Amy and Memory put on a great retreat. My friend Peggy was able to share a room with me this time because her husband was unable to come last minute. So instead of staying out at the house they have about 30 minutes away, she just stayed in my hotel room with me, which was great to spend a little bit more time with her. We got some stitching done. I may have started some new projects, which you'll see. We watched an abysmal Carolina game. I missed, as I've mentioned before, I have season tickets to the UNC football games. UNC Clemson was at Chapel Hill this Saturday. I knew back in February when I signed up for this retreat that I would miss that. But I did go down to the bar of the hotel and watch the game, every bit of it, except for the last few seconds, which ESPN cut off because it was obvious who was going to win. And it was bad. It was very, very bad. But still my team. I will still support them. Let's just hope they get their shit together. So, and then yesterday, October 6th, was my birthday. So I took yesterday off, and I was a vegetable all day. I spent most of the day, honestly, I slept very late, and then I got up, and I had some lunch, and then I spent most of the afternoon sitting on the couch reading, which is a wonderful day to me. So did do a little stitching and a birthday start last night, and you'll see that as well when we get to the stitching. But so I don't know, birthdays are not a huge deal for me anymore. So we had McDonald's for dinner. I didn't have to cook it. I didn't care. So the only negative thing about the weekend was on my way back Sunday, my check engine light came on, and when I got home and we put the OBD2 on it, it was throwing a code to deal with emissions, and they picked it up this morning, and they let me know this afternoon that I do need a new catalytic converter on the right hand side. So that's being done, and that's not going to be cheap. But, I'm fortunate that I can't afford to fix it, and it will be fixed hopefully in the next couple of days. So that's about it for hearsay. We will move on into verdicts, and I do have verdicts, except I forgot to bring them over here, so I need to pause you to go get them. Okay, I really only had to go get one because I've got pictures of the rest of them. Excuse me. So first up is that I do have to show you is I actually finished Wicked Stitcher Society by Silver Creek Samplers. I did this on a 16 count Picture This Plus Whimsy, and this project had a total of 3,475 stitches. I stitched 6 sessions totaling 12.8 hours to finish this. The only thing I changed is the cross stitch fabric in her lap. The pattern did not fill that in. It had it just the fabric behind being the fabric. I didn't really like that, so I filled that in with white. But other than that, it is with all the called for DMC. This was a barefoot needle art stitch along. I think it was BFN Wicked Sal, something like that. So anyway, I had done, before the retreat, I had done everything except this spool, and I saved that so that Friday morning of the retreat, I could stitch that and finish it and ring the bell at retreat. So I think I'm probably going to make a little pillow out of this. I'm probably going to get some like quilt fabric, and so I'm trying to see if I can get it to hold it, and do at least a little bit more down here and make it sort of squarish, not giant, but a little bit bigger. But we'll see. I need to pull out my Halloween. I've got lots of Halloween quilting fabric. I just need to see if I've got something that really goes with that. The other verdicts I only have pictures of. I did this time decide to do the Smalls Exchange. So I did a little freebie pattern from Doreen Jones called Boo, and I'll put a picture here as I'm talking of what that looked like after I finished it into a little pillow. Honestly, I think that was the first time I'd ever really made a little pillow, so it could have used probably a little bit more stuffing at the bottom, because it kind of, I just did the leave the hole in the bottom and stitch up the bottom part, and that was the first time I'd ever done that. Excuse me. But it came out pretty cute, and my friend Jennifer Markham got it, so I know that she will forgive me for it not being perfect. So I also made, I'm sorry, all of a sudden I can't talk without having to swallow hard. I also made some bags for table gifts, and one of them also was the container that I put my small in. It was a panel of fabric that I had, and as I'm talking here, I'm going to kind of roll a little video that I took of all those bags that I made. As I was making them and cutting the panels, I realized that the fabric where the white was glowed in the dark. So I don't think I realized that when I bought the panel. Of course, I bought the panels like 2-3 years ago, so maybe I did at the time and I'd forgotten. So anyway, I'm also putting a video in of trying to show you. I kind of went in the closet and tried to do a little video to show you what it looked like. And then I also made a couple other larger bags for just a few friends for some starts we were doing, and just for general friend gifts. So anyway, those are all of the verdicts, and we will move on to Court is in Session. First up, let me give you a few statistics for September. Put my glasses on so I can read. In September, I did 12,690 stitches. That is the lowest number of any month so far this year. And that is due, like I said, due to the couple of weeks that were just crazy at work. I stitched a total of 23 days and 53 hours on 14 projects. I started one project and I finished one project and ended the month with 101 projects. So that was September statistics, and let me show you what I worked on. First up is Kingdom of Books, which is in this bag from Lynn X Stitch Creates. If you are new here, as I talk, I will post a picture of what the project will look like when it's finished. And if it is not a new start, I will also put up a picture of what it looked like the last time I showed it to you. This is Kingdom of Books. This is the project that I have been working on this year to finish. and I started this approximately August 31st of 2016. This project is going to be finished this month and probably in the next week or so. So let me show you just where I worked first. We'll do this backwards. Usually I show you the whole thing, then where I worked, but I'm going to show you first where I worked. So this is where I worked. These two, I think maybe I don't remember. I know I worked on this one and this one. I'm not sure if I had a little blue left. Since you last saw it, I did another 2,383 stitches. In September, I did a total of 3,004 stitches. I have currently done 65,379 of 68,324 stitches, and it is currently at 95.7%. So I am almost done. Trying to make sure I can see it all. Trying to look through the fabric. All I have left to do is that white block over here on the far right side. That is just under 3,000 stitches. Like, I think let me look, I wrote it down on the next page. 2,945 stitches that I have left to do. And I am going to start on that tonight. And that is what I'm going to work on this week until those stitches are done, I believe. Unless I just get totally burned out and have to work a little bit on something else and then go back to this. But this is my priority, first and foremost, this week. So that is going to be done this month, at least the cross stitching. Now, I am not going to do all of the back stitching that's in the pattern. There are a lot of back stitching of names of books. I'm not putting the names of the books, but I am going to go through and do the back stitching in the locations where it kind of outlines and defines a few things to make it pop a little better. So whether or not I will get to that in October, I don't know. After I finish the stitching, I will look and kind of assess how much of that there is. And if it's not too much, I may go ahead and get it done. If it is going to be a lot, I might leave that as like kind of a November project to finish up. So, so September, like I said, because I did not ended up not having as much time stitching, and I had started the beginning of the month with the ABC with the Magazine Monthly Cross Stitch Challenge Facebook group. Is that the right Magazine Monthly Cross Stitch Challenge? I had spent a lot of time the first week and a half or so doing AB Singo stuff and had not really started on my goal stitching. As a result, I did not get to almost all of my goal stitching in September. I'd got my Kingdom of Books. I prioritized that because I knew that I was on track to finish that in October. The only other thing I did was a little bit of one of my Whip Go projects, and that was it. I mean, I've still got more to do. So this is in a bag by the Brass Button. This is Treasure Hunt Bookshelf, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs, based on artwork by Amy Stewart. I have cropped this to like the left side from top to bottom, and am doing just the crop for now, although I currently still have enough fabric to do the whole piece, because when I get the cropped part done, we'll see if I want to keep going. I started this approximately July of 2016. Sorry, I'm trying to get it so I can just show you the relevant part. This is the full width of the part that I've cropped, and then it's going to go all the full length of the left side of the piece. So my goal for September on this was 1,300 stitches, and I only did 379. And my strategy for working full coverage is I pick something the furthest left top that needs a symbol, and I put a strand of that in, and I go wherever it goes. So I'm currently trying to kind of work my way over to get this more filled in a little bit up here. But of course that it's gone down here. So anyway, I did 379 stitches on this. I've currently done 13,358 of the 94,980 that is the cropped version I'm doing. So I'm currently at 14.1% of the crop version. I do plan to try to get the rest of that 1,300 stitches done this month, hopefully. If not this month, by the end of the year. But it's this month is going to be largely dedicated to getting and catching up on getting this month's and catching up on last month's gold stitching. So, next up, so I am doing gridiron grind, or my version of gridiron grind, and I'm doing that in college football with the UNC Tar Heels. And I do 10 stitches for every point that my team scores, which has not been a lot lately. This is in another bag by Lynx Stitch Creates with Sock Monkeys. This is the Schoolhouse Rock Stitch Along by the Black Needle Society. I started this September 3rd, 2023, when it was a stitch along. It has, of course, long since been finished. And I am doing this on 36 count Be Stitch Me linen in the colorway Ocean Blue. This is where I am. Since you last saw it, I have done another 580 stitches. I did a total of 729 in September. I am currently at 7,480 stitches of 16,284. Sorry, I'm having trouble reading without my glasses. And currently at 45.9%. So this is caught up through September. I have not yet done the 100 stitches that I need to do for last weekend's game, because we did manage to score 10 points, but, you know, so I will put a little bit more into that. We have a bye this coming weekend, so, but I will try to get this week, try to get that done. And I did decide, I mentioned this last time that I may do this, and I did decide, this isn't a bag by someone who I can never remember who made it, and I apologize. I don't know who it is. I did decide to add a project for the opposing team. So it will be the same project regardless of who the opposing team is. But I decided to go ahead and do another project to get some work on it. And the project I chose is Scary Sampler by Heartstring Samplery. Don't ask me why I started. I wanted to start this in the middle of the pattern. And for some reason, I also started in the middle of this giant piece of fabric, which I don't think I'll need. Well, I know I won't. Oh, no, I didn't. Oh, it does look like I counted. Maybe. We'll see. Anyway, this is Scary Sampler by Heartstring Samplery. I started this September 1st of 2023. It is on 40 count Be Stitch Me Mocha linen. And like I said, I started this in the middle of the pattern so that I would not leave that big house to last. And that is the edge. So I guess I didn't start it literally in the middle of the fabric. It just kind of felt like it. I have done 940 stitches on this in September. I've done a total of 1,574 of 26,794, and I'm currently at 5.9%. So what I did is I worked that the roof line over, and I did that flower and little alien and everything down that side so that I got to that border. And like I said, I am doing that for 10 points for every point scored by the opposing team. So this is due 380 after last weekend's game. So I will get to that sometime, hopefully in the next week or so. And then I do have a little bit lingering from, I did do a little bit more AB Singo after I last recorded. So I don't even know what numbers I did these for or what days they were. I just completely lost track after a point because, like I said, work. So, but I want to show you what work I did on the projects. This is in a bag by, I believe this is Gamma's Treasures, I think. And this is Tree of Magic by Barbara Anna. I started this May 1st of 2021. Bought this as a kit. Sorry if you just heard the buzzer, the dryer's going. I bought this as a kit from Nitka Moscow when it was only available as a kit. I think it may be available now online. It's just the pattern. So I'm doing it on 32 count, a Zweigart. I guess it's like a natural or something. It's whatever came with the kit. And there's like one, I think there's one more row below the one I'm working on of trees and stuff. I did 419 stitches on this. I've currently done 6,976 of 10,803, and it's currently at 64.6%. Little strings coming off that. Okay, also for a Bizingo, in this bag by Lynn X Stitch Creates is Moonlight Sampler by the Blue Flower. I started this on November 15th of 2021, and I'm doing this on 40 count, hand dyed by Rolanda in Dove Gray. And I did another 326 stitches since you last saw it, all around the girl sitting on the swing. I did a total of 783 in September, and I've currently done 11,683 of 22,726, and I'm at 51.4%, so I have passed the halfway mark. I really love this one every time I work on it. So, of course, I say that about most things. Excuse me. Next up is in this bag by Creative Carol. Did I say that right? Creative Carol Designs, yes. This is Howling Quaker by Leela Studio. I started this June 30th of 2021. I'm doing it on 40 count, Fiber on a Whim in the colorway Heather. And this is where it is. I did 373 stitches since you last saw it. I did a total of 589 in September. Currently done 9,216 of 18,055, and it is currently at 51%. My friend Peggy finished this weekend. She had started it last year at the October Barefoot Retreat, and she finished it at the retreat this year. So I'm jealous, and I need to work on that more. Okay, where? Oh, okay. Oh, no, I skipped one. Sorry. Okay. This one is in this bag by Cricklewood Creek. I never get that right. I think it's Cricklewood Crossing, something like that. It has embroidered in there. This is Lady Liberty by Twin Peak Primitives. I started this July 1st of 2022. I'm doing it on 36 count Mystic Fabrics in the colorway Pearl. I did 428 stitches since you last saw it. A total of 652 in September. I'm currently at 7,269 of 12,847 and 56.6%. So mainly what I did since the last time you saw it is I worked more in the base of the Statue of Liberty there. Next up is in this bag. I believe this is, what's her name? She's from Canada. It'll come to me in a minute. Hopefully. Oh, I can't think of her name. She vended at the Queen City Stitch Retreat the year I went. I'll put it across the screen because I know it'll come to me. Just her name will not come to me at the moment. this is Bluebirds of Happiness by JBW Designs. I started this December 31st of 2023. I'm doing it on 36 count Atomic Ranch in the color Pampas Reed. And some of that is really faint on there. There's a, I don't know if you can even see, there's a light, very, very light green vine running between those pink, below those pink flowers. Hopefully you can kind of see that. I did 346 stitches on this. I've only done 591 of 4,574 stitches, but this is at 12.9%. So this is not a very big project. I really just need to make this a priority a month or two, and I should be able to knock that out. So, you know, but again, I say that about a lot of stuff. Okay, next up is in this bag, also from Cricklewood Crossing, Crickle Creek Crossing, Cricklewood Creek. At some point I will have put the name across the front because for some reason I just cannot get that right. This is a Mid-Amish Life, which is a pattern that was in 3 issues of Cross Stitch and Country Crafts from years ago. It can also be found in a book that's like Best of Cross Stitch and Country Crafts or something like that. I have the magazines. Actually, I have them right here. What year was that? 1987. So I did work on this some for AB Singo, and then I also worked on a little bit more this past weekend. So I'm doing this on a 32 count Lugana, just as Weigart Lugana in light blue. I started this June 8th of 2024. I did 700 stitches on this in September for AB Singo. And then I did another 288 this past weekend in October. So I've done a total of 988 since you last saw it. I've currently done 2,022 of 33,835. And I'm currently at 6%. So I love this every time I work on it. It is a almost full coverage pattern. There's a few parts up towards the top that are not full coverage, but the rest of it might as well be full coverage pretty much. And let's see. The last one that was AB Singo related, but again, I also worked on it some this weekend, is in this bag from Barefoot Needle Arts with dragonflies on it. This is Nature's Peace, which I started last September on my trip out west. I'm doing this as a stitch along with Beth, the Steadfast Stitcher. And our friend Julie is also doing it with us, but she does not have a floss tube. I'm doing, let's see, I started this September 20th of 2024. I'm doing it on a 22 count Ada from Bestitch Me in the colorway Scroll. And I was using this for AB Singo, and I did 250 stitches since you last saw it in September for a total of 454 in September. Is that a 5? Yes, 454 in September. I did another 364 this weekend. And so I've done a total of 614 since you last saw it. I've been working up here around in that mountain in the top of that bighorn sheep. So far, I've done a total of 3,446 of 5,173. And I am currently at 66.6%. The hashtag for this is Nature is My Peace Sal. So it's not a super, I mean, I'm doing it obviously on a 22 count fabric over one. But it's not a super huge project. Like I said, 5,173 stitches total. So I didn't say that is Carriage House Samplings is the designer of that. So that is all of my September, AB Singo, and then a little bit of October that I did on the same things. And then since this, over the weekend and yesterday, I have done 3 new starts. So first up is in this bag that I made. This is one of the bags that I finished up last week. I had enough of this fabric to make myself and my friend Anne, who also loves dragonflies, one of these. This is Cicada's Song Sampler by Cosford Rise Stitchery. Sorry, there's something else in here that needs to come out. And I think this was just released at Market this year. It's a relatively new release, sometime this year. And I started this Friday, October the 3rd. I'm doing it on a 40 count Be Stitch Me linen, and I do not have a name. I believe it was a Friday night fight night purchase. And I started this with Beth, Steadfast Stitcher, and my friend Peggy. We all started it Friday. I started with this outline border so I could work my way down to the roof of that mill so I don't leave that to the last. I did 547 stitches of 17,049. So it is currently at 3.2%. So right now it's a little hard to see, and that modeling is, I think, showing up a little more contrasty than it is in person. But I really like the modeling. It has the right vibe for this piece. I think the kind of almost a swampy vibe I like. So next up, also in a bag that I made these for me and Peggy, and I had a third one that I gave to someone else. This is Red and Black Sampler by Al Forrest. Beth, the Steadfast Stitcher, and Peggy and I both started it Saturday. And also, I think that Lisa, Stitching with Lou, was going to try to start it this weekend. I haven't heard yet if she did or not. So, Lisa, let me know if you got it started. I know she was waiting on some of her supplies to arrive. So, I started this Saturday, October 4th. I'm doing it on 40 count Zweigart, just in a white, so it'll pop. Peggy and Beth are both doing it on like a really light gray, and I really like the moodiness of that too. And once I saw that, I debated switching, but I decided I could go crazy trying to make a decision, so I just stuck with what I'd chosen. So I am doing this. I do have the Al Forrest floss. I'll show you just a minute. I did 576 stitches of 33,948. So this is currently at 1.7%. This is a very long piece that is mostly black. There's not, it is called Red and Black Sampler, and there is red in there, and it's used to good effect, but it is a mostly black sampler. Like I said, I do have the Al Forrest threads, which I really like. As you can see, the black is kind of black and charcoal gray, and then the red has some lights and darks in it. And I had these perfect floss drops from Heidi at Cottage Cat Designs, who is also the potty mouth stitcher on Flosstube. She was at the retreat this weekend, and I may have bought a few more floss drops. You will see. So that was Red and Black Sampler. And then yesterday, like I said, was my birthday, so I had a birthday start. This is in a bag from Como Stitches. And this is a thing that my friend Angela gave me for my birthday at the retreat this weekend. A lovely little thing with a dragonfly. This is Mad Tea Party by Bella Filipina. This is the first Bella Filipina that I have done or started. And I started this October 6th. It's my birthday start. I mentioned in my last episode that I, kind of like about a sow for children's literature. And like I said, I'd hoped to come back last week before my birthday to like remind y'all if anybody wanted to join. I didn't, but I know Peggy started something yesterday. I know Christina was going to start something last night. I'm not sure who else might be joining. But the hashtag that Peggy and I decided on last night was Kid Lit Sal. And I'll put that across the screen. But KIDLIT SAL. And my idea is anything you think of as like children's literature, not, I mean, you can make it, you can do whatever you want. There's no rules. I mean, if you want it to be fairy tales or whatever, that's fine. I'm thinking more along the lines of, Alice in Wonderland, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, things that are chapter books type stuff. But I think Peggy was starting Sleeping Princess from Mirabelle, which is technically a fairy tale, so it doesn't matter to me. Christina, I think, was starting a Holly Hobby pattern. So, just think about kids and reading and stuff like that. So, anyway, this is on a 28 count fabrics by Stephanie Lugana in the colorway Bewitched. And I started in the middle primarily because that whole top arch, the outline of all that is chronic, and I wasn't starting with that. So, I did 668 stitches of 11,984, and so that is currently a 5.6%. This fabric, so I'll show you the whole piece of fabric because there's some green in it up top, so that arch is gonna, where the leaves and all is gonna kind of hit up where some of the green and stuff is. And then there's green down towards the bottom. So I started in the middle of the fabric to kind of get the effect I want for the fabric I picked out. So, anyway, so I'm enjoying working on that. It does have it does not have blended threads, but it does have some half stitches, quarter stitches, things like that, which I've done a little bit of to shape around her face, but and that is all the stitching. 41 minutes. So on the docket, finish Kingdom of Books. That's going to be the first priority. Whip Go. My calls for Whip Go for this month are Minnie the Wool Shop from Heaven Enough Designs. 1,300 stitches. That was also called last month for 1,300 stitches, and I did not touch it. So I'm going to try to do all 2,600 stitches this month. Also called for this month was Blue Ridge for 1,000 stitches. So I should be able to get that no problem. Like I said, Treasure Hunt Bookshelf was called last month for 1,600 stitches. I think earlier I said 1,300, but it was actually 1,600, and I only got like 379 done. So I have another 1,221 stitches of Treasure Hunt Bookshelf that I'm going to try to get to this month, but that's kind of like the last one that I will try. Because if I don't get to it this month, I'll put it in with next month when I'm caught up on everything else. Let Freedom Ring. I did not touch it all in September. I did not do my 2,200 stitches. I am going to let last month just totally go. I'm not even going to try to catch up with it this month because I have always known that come January 1st, I'm going to kind of reassess and see if I need to up my stitch count generally. So I'm just going to let that kind of be absorbed into whatever recalculation I do January 1st. But I am going to do 2,200 stitches in October. I might, if I'm in a groove, I might do 2,500 or something to just get a little bit more. But I'm not going to try to get 4,400 stitches on that. Anzac is back up again because end of August, I did August and September. So sometime this month, probably towards the end of the month, I will do 600 and may go ahead and do 600 for November. We'll see, but I need to get 600 in this month. And then Gridiron Grind, there are 3 Carolina games this month. One was last weekend. I need to stitch for that. We've got 2 more games this month. One is the game out in California that my husband and I are flying out to stay with my sister to go to. I'm not expecting it to be a great game for us, but I'm going to get to go visit my sister, so that'll be worth it. And then I am planning at least one new start, not in October, but in November 1st. Nancy, the Disorderly Stitcher, and I are starting Quilts by Long Dog Sampler. I showed you that pattern. I don't think last episode, I think episode before last, I had bought it. I'll put a picture of it here. It's a very autumnal Thanksgiving vibe sampler to me. And so Nancy messaged me and said she had bought it and did I want to sell it? So of course I want to sell it. We're going to start that November 1st. And the hashtag we came up with is just hashtag Long Dog Quilts. And quilts is spelled Quiltz. That is how the pattern is spelled, and that's what we're using. I think that my friend Peggy's going to join that, but if anyone else is interested in joining that, we welcome you to do so. Sal for us means start along, not stitch along. So there's no time pressure. I know for a fact that it will probably be several years before I get it finished, unless I just really get motivated or something. So definitely plan to start that. I would like to work on and maybe start at least one more kind of Halloweenish pattern. You'll see when I get to Stashing for Retirement, my friend Peggy and I picked out a pattern this weekend that we'd like to start in October. And I will probably try to at least start that. But like I said, I'm prioritizing trying to catch up on my goal stitching this month. So we'll see how that goes. Calendar. I will be at the Greensboro All Day Stitch on November 1st. If you're interested in that, join the Facebook group, which is Greensboro Stitchers, I think it's what it's called. And there will be information on that. My next big retreat is not until May of next year. I will be going to the Barefoot Needle Arts Simply Stitching Retreat in Dillard, Georgia. If you're interested in the Barefoot Needle Arts February retreat at Myrtle Beach, registration for that will open October 18th. I have decided that I have to be an adult and not go to the February retreat because we are hoping to go to Hawaii probably around the Marchish time frame, and then I'm doing the May retreat, and then I have 2 in July, and I'd like to go to Barefoot next year in October. So something had to give, particularly with what I'm getting ready to pay to have my car fixed. And Christmas coming up and, all that fun stuff. So, but if you are interested in the Barefoot retreat, in February, the registration for that starts October 18th. Also on October 18th is another, stitching day in Durham at the Ruritan Club, that Teresa just coordinates. If you want more information on that, you can go to the Tar Heel Stitchers Facebook group, join that. I will not be able to be there because that's the weekend that we are going to California. But there's always a good group of people that go to that. And it's, Teresa asked for like a $5 donation to cover the use of the Ruritan Club that she's able to get through a family member. And other than that, it's just to kind of come and sit and stitch. And this one's on Saturday, so it's like, I think 10 to 4 or something. It's a little longer when they have it on Saturday than when they have it on Sunday. So I want to say 10 to 4, but join the Tar Heel Stitchers Facebook group, and there should be a post. Teresa usually posts closer to the date about that and information. So I think that's it for calendar, and we will move on to stashing for retirement. Okay, before I get to stuff that I bought, I'm going to try to show you some of the stuff that I got at Barefoot, like that was the swag, and then a couple of things that I got at Stitchy Kindness. I am not going to show you all the little table gifts and stuff like that I got, because while it was all wonderful, it was just a lot, and I'm not sure that I've got it organized anymore. So just know that if you were at retreat and you gave me something, I appreciate all of it. And just because I don't show it does not mean I did not appreciate it. The kind of big swag we got this time was a nice tumbler, and it had a foot for Barefoot with a little bob and frog and stuff. It's got some stickers inside and a floss drop. I'm not going to take it off right now. We also got, they always give us a pin. This was this time's. And also inside were some little snips. Those are always handy. The pattern this time was, Sweet Wing Studio was the designer, and she was there. Her name is Susan. Great name. And this is called a Stitcher's Haiku. Cute pattern. Says, I love to cross stitch, floss and fabric surround me, where is my needle? And it's just got lots of cute little odds and ends associated with stitching on it. My friend Peggy made me a bag, with, this was her table gift, I think. She gave everybody else one. It has a keep calm and stitch on. She took this fabric or something. Oh, well, yeah, there's one down there. You see that? These are like around the fabric, and she cut some of those out and put them in the thing. A friend of ours had, I guess she and her husband had stumbled upon an estate sale that was from the previous owner of an LNS, I think in the Columbia-ish area. I'm not sure exactly what area. And so she had a bunch of charts that she had gotten, and she was just finding people that liked stuff, liked what she had. And she gave me this chart, which has got a UNC lover and a NC State lover thing on it. I don't want to hold it too close, but it's got the old well, and it says UNC lover, and it looks like somebody had put a 27 there, like, which is probably more along the lines of what I would do, is put, like, I might put, like, 1990, the year I graduated or something. So she gave me that, and then she had given someone else a bunch of lavender lace, and they didn't think they would do all of them, so they let me go through them. And I found two that I've kind of always wanted. One is the Spirit of Christmas, and the other one is the Quilt Maker. I'm not sure exactly. I'm probably do the Christmas one before I'll do the Quilt Maker one, but I like the Quilt Maker, but I think I really would want to maybe change the colors on that a little bit, but we'll see. And then I did do the Smalls Exchange. I showed you earlier my little Boo pillow that I did. And what I got is, my table was the first table called for Smalls Exchange. And there was only two of us at our table that had done Smalls, me and Christina. And I beelined for this casket because I had seen it before up there. And it's like a casket with skeletons. And it had this ribbon on top with this card and a little empty poison bottle. And I'm going to show you the stuff that was in it before I show you what the small was. It's got this other poison bottle in it, so I'm going to have some stuff to add to my Halloween decor. Look at these floss drops that she made. This Audrey made these. And she said she used to be a scrapbooker. So these are floss drops that she made individually. And it feels like, I mean, like this is flat, like, so I guess she printed out and then she added the embellishments. Adorable. And then the small, it's really cute. And it's got a couple little pins up top. And, oh, there's buttons on the safety pin. I couldn't quite focus to what those are. So I am going to try to get my Halloween decor out this week. So all of that will be added to that, including somehow this coffin. I'm not sure how that one's going to work yet, but it'll be used. I came home Sunday night. My husband, we don't really do big deals for birthday anymore. You know, my birthday gift really was spending money this past weekend on cross-stitch stuff. But my husband, somebody showed my husband something on Amazon, I think, and he had to buy it for me. This is not offensive in my opinion, but somewhat crude. So I apologize, you know, if you're offended by somewhat crude things, then maybe just fast forward 30 seconds or so. But he got me a yarn bowl. It's a cat butt yarn bowl. It's not going to be a super useful yarn bowl because this is not very deep, but he knew I'm not a huge, I don't really use yarn bowls. And he knows that, but he couldn't resist the cat butt. And I'm glad he didn't because it's hilarious to me. It came with a set of crochet hooks as well, which I will use. But anyway, I thought it was hilarious. So my husband got me that for my birthday. Okay, so that's it for like gifts and stuff. I've got more from Barefoot that I purchased, but I'm going to show you some other stuff first just to make more room. So, I ordered the Vicky Stitch and Button Halloween bag it's not really a box. She does a bag, and then she does throw some extra goodies in it. So this, and so if you haven't gotten yours, mine came, I think mine came like last Friday. So hopefully most people have gotten theirs, but just in case, if you haven't gotten yours and don't want to be spoiled, look away. This was the bag. It's kind of like a Halloween-y newsprint. And let me get the stuff out, and then I'll show you the inside so you can actually see it. The inside is like black spider web and kind of gothic curly cues. It had a couple of bookmarks. I think they're the same on both sides, yeah. A couple of kind of celestial bookmarks. Had a scissor fob with the casket on it and a moon and star. I believe that Vicky also made the scissor fob. Yeah, looks like she made the scissor fob. And the bag also has a little thing on the zipper. It had a little box that says Resting Witch Face. I don't know if that's who made some of this. I've opened all this before. It came wrapped in nice tissue paper and a really cute sticker on it and everything, but you know, I couldn't wait to unwrap it all. A couple of bat counting pins and a little tin. Is that right set up? It says Toad Slime. Sorry. And it is it has a magnet in it so it'll hold your needle. That's everything in that. Some floss drops with a sticker. Come on. The floss drops are a couple different papers, but they're all shaped like that. And she also gives you little stickers to put on them with the numbers. And a needle minder. And then she gave us a new product she's making. What does she call it? Let's see what she called it. Needle parking book. So it looks like this. It's got snaps, so you can snap it closed. And I believe the idea is that if you've got multiple needles threaded, you can park them in different numbers and then either remember, like make a notation of what color threads are in what numbers. So that, you know, you don't have to keep rethreading your needle if you've got like, what is the Rosewood Manor project that I'm doing with all the blues that I love, but I have to use a needle parker because there's like a few stitches of this color and a few stitches of that color, and you could count, but it would be a lot of counting to jump around and finish the thread. So these are good for projects like that. And I've never seen one quite like this, but I like this. This looks cool. So I look forward to trying that. This bag or box, like I said, it's not really a box, but it, you know, it was more than just a bag. Was very reasonably priced for what you get. I had seen last year's, but had not ordered it. And so I had decided last year that I did want to get it this year. And I think it's definitely worth what she charges for it. So if you like, you know, that sort of thing and you're willing to be a little surprised. I mean, you know, it's going to be Halloween themed, which is pretty much good for me. So let's see what all we got in here. We got a bunch. I got some more Christmas meal hills from 1 2 3 Stitch. Got Gingerbread House. This is an older one. Put my glasses on so I can read. This one's from 2010. Technically not part of the Christmas Village series, but I liked it. Another Christmas Village Schoolhouse. This is 2022. Christmas Village Town Hardware 2016. There's some more of these in here. Christmas Village St. Nicholas Cathedral, which is from 2007. Christmas Village Apothecary, also from 2007. Christmas Village Post Office from 2006. I think that's all the Christmas Villages. Also got A Year in the Woods 2, number 4 from Pam at Stitched in England. The Crow. I'm on an auto ship for that from her. Trying to sort everything I got from Barefoot separate because some of it has gotten a little mixed in. I ordered Be Stitch Me a couple weeks ago, had some ready to ship Halloween fabrics. I ordered 2 pieces of 16 count Ada in Pumpkin Patch. Both Tonight We Ride and Witch's Hollow by Autumn Lane Designs are designed on this fabric. So I just went ahead and got one for each because I know I would like to do both of those eventually. Like I said, I went to the Harvest Moon Hangout. I did buy a couple patterns, and I'll show you those in just a bit when I show the PDFs. But I also ordered a little bit of fabric. I got the specialty the exclusive fabric in a 20 count Ada. What's it called? Sepia Sorcery from Fiberlicious. This is the first time I've gotten Ada from Fiberlicious. I like the pattern. The Ada's a little stiff, but I use a Q-snap for everything, so I'm sure it will be fine. And then I also ordered, I wasn't sure if this was an exclusive, but I liked it. I got from Forbidden Fiber a 32 count Lugana in Harvest Moon. I just really liked kind of a purplyish gray. So I'm always on the lookout for a good neutral that's not a white or tan. I'm more of a, when I go for neutral, I really usually want more of a gray than a tan. Need to get that one back in the bags because she doesn't have labels actually on the fabric, so I need to keep that one together. We got those. We went to the tattoo convention. There was somebody selling these, and of course I had to have the dragonfly, so not sure where I'll hang that yet, but like that. And what else have we got in here? I don't remember. Oh, this might be some of this is my stuff from the online marketplace that happened like late August. Yeah, I had not gotten most of this, but last time I recorded, since it was early September. This first one actually is not from Marketplace. This is my friend Michelle found this thrifting somewhere and gave it to me. It's called Dragonfly Sampler by Midnight Stitching, who I've never heard of. I was looking to see if I saw a date on this, but I don't. But, is there a copyright date? 2007. So, got that. I got, this was, I think I just ordered this from, I don't remember whom. Maybe Millennial. I'm not positive. This is Sampler Seasons Winter from Blueberry Ridge Designs. I think I just bought Winter. I like all of them. I want to try what Janet Jabber has been doing with the variegated DMC and then the colors that are in the variegated. So you'll see in a bit. I show you I bought some of that this weekend to try doing the winter one. And if I like it, I may buy the other seasons. Sorry, I've got stuff sliding here. I also got this. I think I got this from Millennial as well. Christmas Morning by Erin Elizabeth. It's one that I've had on my wish list for a while. I know I ordered this one from Millennial. This is the Needles Notion Bewitching Trio. I don't think this is a new pattern. I have another stand-up witch from her and also a stand-up Santa and the Hoot and the Boot from them. I got, I know what some of this is. Some of these two, I think, are, oh no, this is from, these two are from Pam at Stitch New England, I think, sale. Yeah, some of this is from Pam Stitch New England. She was moving her shop physically, and so she had a sale on some stuff, and I'm pretty sure this was from a sale. These were two more of the Fragments in Time 2023 that I had not gotten at the time, and I still need one more. I think this is 7 and 8. I think I need 6. There's one more I need. This was Marketplace chicken and waffles I ordered from Pam. I tried to be really judicious this time about what I ordered from Market. This was Marketplace. Jan Hicks Creates Blue Velvet. Of course, the blues. I love the color. And then something that Pam had on sale when she with their move was Shepherd's Bush stockings. So I got several of these, which, you know, I have these grand plans of making these for my kids and grandkids. We'll see if it actually ever comes to fruition. So I got Anna stocking, Martha stocking, Olaf stocking, Hector stocking, Lois's stocking, and Parker's stocking. So I got those. And then I think that's everything except stuff I got at the retreat. So I bought, Millennial Fabrics was there vending in the room. So Barefoot Needle Arts usually has trunk shows and some fabric shows, like fabric trunk shows and pattern trunk shows. But then she will also allow a couple of people to vend in the retreat room. And I don't know the exact arrangement, but I believe they agree to donate some of their proceeds to the charity that we're supporting that retreat. This retreat's charity was a local breast cancer group that provides support for breast cancer survivors, or breast cancer patients rather. I believe, and if you don't know, Memory, who is one of the owners of Barefoot Needle Art, has been undergoing breast cancer treatment. I don't know if she's to the point where they call her a survivor yet, but everything seems to be going well. And I think last year when we did this charity, what we raised was able to like pay someone's deductible for them to have their surgery and stuff. So anyway, Millennial Fabrics was one of the people vending. So I got a 32 count linen in River Rock from her. It's kind of a bluey gray. And then a 18 count Ada in Miss Myrtle, which was apparently her June colorway. So I got that. None of this is going to be logical because I'm just going to be pulling out of bags. And if it came from somewhere other than Barefoot, I'll tell you. I bought this Murder in the Garden from Hands On Design. The called for this is 20 count over 2. So this is supposed to be huge. I'm not probably, with pearl cotton, I'm probably not going to make it that huge. This is the pattern that I mentioned that my friend Peggy and I both bought that we want to start in October. It's called Midnight, and it's from Serenita de Campagna. I think that's Italian. I had pre-ordered this one for them to hold for me, which is Quaker Snippets #1 by Brenda Gervais with that needle and thread. This calls for like 18 colors of floss. I am not going to do that much. I'm going to pick like 4 or 5 to get the ranges and do it. Erica Michaels, A Frightful Assembly. This was a market release. This had been an exclusive for, I think, a Garon Stitchery retreat last year. It was released at the online marketplace, so I had pre-ordered that. This is a new barefoot pattern that Amy designed for October. It's called In October. It says In October We Stitch Pink. And the proceeds from this are going to the charity. So if you're interested in that, you can get that from Barefoot Needle Arts. I was looking to see if it had the charity name on it because I don't remember the name of the charity exactly. But so I also bought, Memory had made some breast cancer bags. So I bought that. I got 16 count 8 of this pink by Atomic Ranch and Rose of Sharon to do that breast cancer pattern on. Sorry for leaning out of frame. I also bought a few pinks to possibly use on that, but I haven't decided yet. I need to go through my stash. I just was grabbing pinks that were possible, so who knows. I got a piece of 20 count Ada from Atomic Ranch in the colorway Blue Ridge, which you're probably, it's kind of like a blue-green, very light, pretty. Sorry for the crinkle. I'll get the bag up here where I can. I bought another magnet frame from Mill Hills, the smallest size. I had bought the medium and the large one time down there, and then got home and realized that I needed the small for like the little ornament types. Barefoot Needle Art now carries the full line of Pirate and Robin floss, and so I just picked up some that I liked. Elder Tiger, Razzle Dazzle, and Equinox. This is Forbidden Fiber Code. Forbidden Fiber Code was the trunk show, and this is the fabric that Peggy and I bought to do that cat in, and it was they only had one fat quarter in the 40 count, and we only needed a fat eighth, so we cut it and split it there. Actually, it's Harvest Moon, which is the same color that I bought from the Harvest Moon Hangout, except in 32 count linen. I didn't make that connection while we were there. No wonder I liked it. I got my fabric of the quarter from Barefoot that they had held for me in a 20 count Ada. It was sun-kissed, kind of a golden yellow. So, okay, that's not everything from Barefoot, but I have these in here, so I'm going to go ahead and show you. As I mentioned, Heidi, the Cottage Cat Designs, who is also the Potty Mouth Stitcher, was there, and she makes floss drops, which I've shown you before, so I bought like 9 more things of floss drops. Now, I'm not going to open these, but know that every picture in here is different. So the front picture you're going to see is just kind of a general theme of what it is. So I got these kind of like fall-like ones. I got these Halloween, it's Halloween, and they're all wearing knitwear, or some of them are actually knitted, cute little things. Kind of a more spooky Halloween. This one is not all dragonflies, but it has a couple dragonflies in it, and it's all generally kind of like that blue and pink flowery looking. This one is 12 Days of Christmas, because I plan to start the, is it JBW who does the 12 Days of Christmas as little stockings? I plan to start that. This one is like all owls. This one's just kind of wintry. This one's kind of like naturey, camping type. Not campy like goofy campy, but camping. And this one is more owls, but just kind of a general thing. Let's see, what else did I buy? What did I buy that for? Oh, I know what I bought that for. Another Pirate and Robin that when I went back, I bought this is called Glam Pride. Let's see, Barefoot started doing something called Floss Flights, and they're themed. Like I showed you, I think last time or maybe the time before, that I'd ordered the Halloween Floss Flight. Well, they had the Fall Floss Flight, so I got one of those. I'm not going to take it all out right now, but it's all fall colors and some stickers. And then I showed you earlier that Blueberry Ridge Winter. So I bought just this Zweigart Pearl Gray in a 32 count linen. Just kind of a plain gray to do it with. And let me see if I can get my colors right here. I think that's right. Not sure I got this exactly right, but I think so. So I bought 4220. I got 2 of them since I got 32 count. And then I believe, if I have this right, these are the 4 colors that are solids that are in that. So I think that's what I'm going to do that Blueberry Ridge Winter in. I also bought this variegated, which is more just blue and white. I may not have that quite right. I think that goes, wait a minute, I think that goes with that. Hold on a second. I think I did that wrong. I think that is those. I'll have to look up the list again. And then this one is these 3. I'm not sure. I'll have to double check. But this one, I don't know what exactly. I just also like this one. I like, but not quite for the winter one. So we'll see what that ends up being. That might be something, maybe even Carolina themed or something. We'll see. So I think that is all the physical stuff. Let me get some, sorry for the crinkling. Get some stuff out of the way so I can see my notes, because I did buy a couple of PDFs and I want to put them up on the screen so you can see them. First of all, it was not a purchase. Lindy Stitches had a freebie called Nevermind, the passive-aggressive raven. I'll put a picture up on the screen. Hopefully, I'm going to try to find a picture of it. I'm going to try to make the picture of it stitched that's on the pattern big enough you can see it, so that I don't have to show the chart, even though it was a freebie. But that was cute, so I got that. And then Harvest Moon Hangout, the 2 patterns that I bought, which were exclusives for Harvest Moon Hangout, were the Pumpkin Party by Lola Crow, which was the cute raccoons and the pumpkins. And then I got Under the Full Moon from Stitch Crypt, which was the owl. And then another pattern that I got, Hade is, Heaven and Earth Designs, Hade in their Facebook group right now is doing some, in October, I guess, is doing some freebies randomly, and then also randomly doing some drawings of people who've purchased or in the group. I'm not sure exactly where they're randomly drawing from, and occasionally giving away patterns. And she had a freebie up last week or so sometime, and I don't think it's there anymore, so if you've missed it, I'm sorry. Called Dare You, which I got. It's pretty big, so who knows if I will actually stitch it, but it was free, so I grabbed it, and it's a Halloween one, so it was pretty cool. So anyway, I think that is it. Like I said, today is the 7th, so I'm trying to think calendar-wise when I might be back again. I'm trying to get a calendar up here real quick. Probably, let's see, the weekend of the 17th is the week we're going to California. So I will try to record again sometime early the week of the 20th of October. Just so I don't go a whole nother month without recording. And then we will see from there. And then that would put me maybe recording Sunday the 2nd of November, the day after the Greensboro Stitch, which would be a little less than 2 weeks, but close enough. So anyway, so look for me sometime, hopefully the week of October 20th. If you are interested in joining Nancy and I in the Long Dog Quilts Sal, you're more than welcome. And if there's no limit on if you want to join the Kidlit Sal and start something that's, at least in your mind, inspired by children's literature or children's reading, tag me on Instagram if you do anything. And, we've got hashtags, but who knows. And I think that's it. I'm sure I've forgotten something, because inevitably every time I stop recording and I've forgotten something. We're almost at 120 minutes, an hour and 20 minutes. I apologize this is so long. Hopefully next time we won't be so long. But if you are stuck around this long, I really appreciate you watching, and hopefully you will come back again. Thanks, y'all. Bye, y'all.